What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are hanging out with me again, if you're just finding me on this video, hello, I'm Anissa and I am an amateur bodybuilder in the NPC and OCB wellness division. So today's video is a little more informative about the cost of bodybuilding, and I'm breaking down like everything I've had to think about when it comes to the cost of doing this sport myself, and I'm pretty sure I touched on nearly everything because I got like 16 things on this list. So I'm not going to belabor this. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So the first cost is the coach. So that just depends. I've heard people paying anywhere from $160 onwards to like $800 a month for a coach. It just depends on the coach. Do your research. Just because they're super popular doesn't make them necessarily a great coach for you. If you're getting into this, I would recommend just scheduling a couple of calls. Some people do charge for their calls, but then they will put it towards the actual service. More than likely, you can find people who will offer free calls, because if you're just getting into this and getting your feet wet, I don't think inherently like getting on a call for 30 minutes with someone should be like a cost. That's just like my personal philosophy. But if there's someone who's really sparking your interest and you're thinking that you'll go with them, do that. You can also just look for client testimonials, like reaching out to their clients, seeing who their clients are and whatnot. So don't be afraid to get a little nosy, because you're going to be putting your hard-earned cash and trusting this person with a lot of aspects. Not just like the bodybuilding itself, but like helping you make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally and going into a prep well prepared. And mentally, like, they don't replace a therapist, y'all. They don't. But I'm just saying, like, someone who's kind of helping guide your whole well-being through this process. The other thing is a gym membership. And that can be anything, like, if you got, like, what, Planet Fitness. I think they still do, like, $10 a month, upwards into, like, $80. I have 2 gym memberships currently, because one gym is just, like, a commercial gym. I can go to many different locations, and my husband and I split that cost. And then I wanted access to this other gym that had more specialized equipment. You can film in there, more of a bodybuilding environment. So, yes, my cost is a little higher. But truth be told, I started out with just really using my gym at my apartment complex because it was comprehensive. You got free weights. If you have standard leg press machine, standard extension machine, like leg extension, hamstring, some like shoulder pressing machine, that's like a plus, a Smith machine, and cardio machines, and like a free pulley machine, you are good to go. I promise you. You could really make that cost real low. The other cost is the food. Food is a huge aspect, not just even like while you're prepping, but like outside of that, especially if you're not doing it just for like a one and done experience, you need to consider the fact that you're committing to a lifestyle. My grocery bill can be around like $100 a week. It just depends on how much I'm restocking. I buy it in bulk from Sam's. My husband and I can like share a lot of the groceries too, so it makes it technically a little bit more feasible. But if you're getting like a meal prep service, that's like another cost to think of. I think really about meal prep service and me, I can get my costs a little bit lower. But if you're short on time, you need help, that is an expense that you may really want to consider, because your nutrition gets jacked up. Good luck. The other part is supplements. So that's for me, like creatine, a couple other supplements I like to take, protein. That expense can look anywhere from $50 on up. It just depends on how much I'm restocking and what I'm using at that time. And I'm talking about like real life over-the-counter supplements, not PEDs. So if you are going down an enhanced route, that is another cost, again, that you need to not look at being one and done, because that is a part of a commitment to a lifestyle. The next cost would be a practice posing suit. This one, asterisk point, if you're doing bikini or wellness, you could get away with using a standard bikini, like do a tie string so it can sit up higher, you can adjust it. But if you really want to understand the fit of a suit, which is what I like, a practice posing suit is really, really good. And that way you're not wearing your competition suit just to practice in. You can spend anywhere from about $70 starting at Competition Suits Shop. Even I think I got one of mine from Amazon for about that price too, upwards to $150. You can look for discount codes for a lot of these suit sites, since a lot of competitors work with them as affiliates. Now your suit, your actual competition suit. Again, those prices can range. I've paid on the lower end around $300 from Competition Suit Shop. and upwards to 1,000 from something like Angel Competition's Bikini. It just depends on the brand, the crystals, there's so many different factors. Those get very, very pricey. You could cut that cost with going with suit rental, and I looked into suit rental. It just didn't seem like they had any sizes that would fit me, so I have bought all of my suits. And like a mid-tier one that I've gotten that I really like from Ravish Sands, I did have a discount code. I'll try to see if it works still, but that was around like the 500 mark, and it was a really great quality suit. I just wanted different color options, so I did the most there. I'll own that. However, if you get one great suit that fits you well, you can wear it endlessly, especially if it's a quality suit that you can take care of and keep well. You can also purchase like accessories like the cases, which will be like an extra, like on Amazon, like $15. Don't buy it from the sites. They'll jack it up to like $30. You can go on Amazon to help preserve it. But I do have a video all about suits that I'll link, and it's very comprehensive to talk more about that. So it makes sure that you get the right fit experience, because I had a very bad fit experience at first. And it's a suit I'm sure I'll be able to wear, in all honesty, probably this year. But it was very stressful and costly to deal with. As for shoes, I do go with the Shoe Fairy brand. I think they're running around, like, it could be anywhere from like 90 to about 150, just depends on the style that you get, but I feel like their fit is the best. I have an off-brand version of them that are narrow, uncomfortable, and the worst, and I would just rather invest in a quality shoe that will last me versus having to buy multiple shoes. So that's that, and I do actually have a discount code for Shoe Fairy, ANISSAFIT, and I'll save you 15%, so there you go. The next cost will be jewelry for like your whole look. I went the route of using Amazon. Like I didn't buy from like the name brand sites that supply it. And I bought different options of jewelry. And I think I spent a total like $40. So I got like 2 looks. So I had like the look I went with, backup options, etc. So that's the route that I went, but it can get costly. Some of these sets that they charge for online, it'll be like $40 for a set, and that's just like the earrings and probably a bracelet. They may have not even thrown a ring. So you can look and find on Amazon. I do have like on my Amazon shop everything for like competing, so you could look and see what I got and grab those if you want, but if not, at least you'll search in there and it usually starts to point you in the right direction. More about like your show day look as well, and I'll just add it in this section since we're already talking about like the suit, the hair, or sorry, the suit and everything. Let's talk about makeup and hair. So makeup, like from a company, I do my own makeup. I'm very comfortable with doing stage makeup because of my background of performing growing up. So I saved on its cost, but it can be like $150 easily, starting out on the cheaper end. Hair, the same thing. I use a wig. I don't have on a wig right now, but I use a wig so I can skip these services, but it looks like about $150 on average for a lot of places. Sometimes your makeup and hair, they'll do like a package deal for you, etc. But it can drive up your costs more. If you practice in time, you can do well enough to like completely skip this. And I'm going to do a video soonish about doing your own makeup. You just need to make sure you wake up early and you're responsible for your time and practice, and not try to like do it off rip day one, even I practice my looks. Your tan, so your tan will be usually another pretty up there cost. You could do a DIY kit. I would just be mindful that you use the same company that the tanner plans to use, since that would help with the stage lighting. So you can reach out to the tanning company that are using Pro Tan. Are you using Liquid Rays? I think that's what it's called. Like, which company are you using, and go to that site and buy their DIY kit. I feel skilled enough to do my own tan. If you don't, I also don't like to do my own tan. So this is something, because I save on makeup and hair, that money is good to go towards my tan. But if I'm on a travel crunch for time and I can't make the appointments, that's when I've done the DIY. So the tan is usually $175, and they usually have you do a deposit and then pay the rest of it closer to show, so that can break up the cost, but just get ready for that if you are going to opt for it. It is the safest bet. If you're going to pay for a spray tan, use the official tanning company that they are providing with that show, because they are making sure it goes with the lighting, etc. The other costs are glam, lashes, and nails. Nails, I really ran out of time to get acrylics, but I've opted for press-on, so that can be like $10, and then if you're doing like acrylics, that can be like $50 plus easily. With that being said, please be mindful, like less is more, low-key. Like doing crazy designs and everything that match your suit is really not necessary, and it could actually be distracting on stage. So go for something classic. I did like a little ombre glitter French that was like as festive as it got. I've done just plain nude. Those work time and time again. Just be sure to give yourself enough time to get all of these like glam things leading into show day done. I did not do very well with that the first time, so even if you go at the very beginning of the week and if you're getting acrylics and you're keeping it super basic, your nails will more than likely be fine by the end of the week. If you're worried about breaking them mid-week, so if your show is like Saturday, get your nails done on Wednesday. Do not be stressing that at the last minute, in my opinion. You may heard other people do otherwise. I'm just telling you the way I'm set up. I don't play that. Lash extensions I did for my first show, that cost was like $200. I would never do it again. To me, the cost of lash extensions versus the benefits, it just doesn't weigh out to me. I feel like mine fell out way too quickly, and I'm just not that lash extension girly. However, I have used like the seamless kits before. Like these you apply like underneath the lash, and they'll stay on for a few days easily, like through everything. And they'll give you like that lash extension look. You can make them nice and fluffy looking. If not, just get a good strip lash. Usually some wispies doubled up are gonna stand out from stage just fine. Outside of the beauty aspect, you do have to pay for a membership for the federation that you decide to join. I'm in two, so I have OCB and MPC. My MPC membership is $150, and that's good for just a calendar year. So if you start late, like it's not prorated, you don't get a discount, it's just $150. OCB is the same thing. It's nothing prorated, but they run it for like, if you had your membership, I had mine in March, mine didn't expire till March of this year, and I paid last year. So theirs is $115 for amateurs, and I think the pros, I think it's like $1. I could be wrong, but if you're OCB Pro, your membership is more expensive. Moving into show fees, these will rack up. And it all depends on how many classes you want to do. So you'll have things like true novice, novice, open, masters, all the things. So anytime you want to go up on stage, pretty much, that's your class. And you have to pay for that. So my very first show, my fee to get in was $125. And then for an additional class, it was $125. And I was on the pricier scale. I had paid, like, for instance, to get into my last show, I think it was around $125, but the additional classes were like $40, so it was a lower cost. The other thing is in OCB, I have to also pay for a polygraph test, so that was an additional $60. So even though like the crossover classes was cheaper in cost, it ends up being about the same, because either way, you know, all those things add up. MPC, unless it's in the natural show I want to do hasn't stated they're going to make you pay for polygraph beforehand. I'll update y'all as that goes along, but because it's not attested for just regular NPC, I did not have that cost. The other cost of your show could be your coach's pass. That can either be on you or your coach. It just depends on what agreement you have. I've heard of coaches asking for you to pay for their coach's pass if you want them backstage. They've also asked for you to pay for your travel. So I personally would not go with that option for me. Now, if sometimes a coach will decide to be at a show because he has multiple competitors and does not pass that cost on to you, but I've heard of it. It's not wild. You just have to decide if it's something for you. So the coach's pass at my last show was $60. At my very first show, it was $100. I did not have my coach backstage with me at my very first show because he was traveling to a date of. We just exchanged pictures and stayed on track that way. You do have to consider your travel costs. I try to compete in Florida because it's a quick, easy road trip for me. I am trying to compete out of the state, but it's just going to be in Louisiana. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to fly or do a road trip, but that's a separate travel cost you need to think of. Same for hotels. I know people who will do the Airbnb route. I would not. I would either stay in the host hotel. Some of these shows are in the host hotel, which makes it super easy. I learned that lesson the hard way. Also, staying in the host hotel, a lot of times the promoters have worked out for a pricing deal, so you can take advantage of that. Or if you have like a travel credit card with points or perks, use that towards that. That can help you a ton. But stay close as possible to your show, because it just makes running around with the tans and getting there on time and the athletes meeting and all that, it makes it just so much easier. And I can make a separate video of like kind of what to expect with like a timeline and running around, because that gave me stress the first time. I'm also a slight control freak when it comes to scheduling and things. So my first time experiencing things, I can feel overwhelmed very easy. But now I'm like, oh, I got this. This is easy. This is a routine at this point. Thank you, friends, for hanging out with me today. I hope you found this video informative. If there's other tips that maybe you want to share of cost and everything, drop those down below. Or if you have more questions, like if you're on the spectrum, you haven't gotten into bodybuilding, leave me any of those questions in the comments so we can continue to chat. I can continue to help you and we can get to know each other. Thank you so much. I cannot wait until we can hang out again in the very next video. Until then, you can subscribe to this channel, hang out with me on Instagram as well, and take care.